Indiana Dunes Tourism, located between Chicago and South Bend in northwest Indiana, is a proud supporter of Irish Illustrated. Extend your Notre Dame visit with a trip to the nation's newest national park. Visit IndianaDunes.com.
Home game number 7 of the 2019 season, Senior Day here today for Notre Dame as the Fighting Irish number 16 take on Boston College. A dreary, cold day here in Notre Dame Stadium. Look, Notre Dame just needs to play Notre Dame football. They need to play up to their abilities today. They're a much better football team than Boston College.
Offensively, the way they played the last 2 weeks, it would be a major disappointment. A step back if you don't see, and I'm just saying, not saying win the game. I mean, you want to see Notre Dame continue to click offensively, led by the passing game, work a little bit of the running game in. Now, I do think, as Brian Kelly said, Boston College, they don't want you to run. They really do let you pass. The way Notre Dame's rolling that way, I don't think you want to cry too much if Notre Dame doesn't get his 35 rushing attempts in. But this is a game where Notre Dame should broach 40 points. And as you know, Clark Lee doesn't usually give up more than a couple touchdowns and a field goal. Something weird has to happen. But BC does have 2 crucial pieces in place to help that weird thing happen.
They do. They have 2 outstanding running backs. And maybe BC doesn't want you to run, but opponents are running for 180 yards per game, so there's some give there. But I don't want to disrespect Boston College because we've seen too many times. The last 19 times these two teams have played, Notre Dame's won 10 and Boston College has won 9. So they're capable, they're physical. We've talked about that all week. Steve Adazio, how he runs his program. But Notre Dame, again, they just you need to contain the running game to the point where what they do with the passing game isn't enough to beat you.
Yeah, you can make it so if you get ahead offensively too, the running game, you can make them panic a little bit and don't let them dictate the running game. Where if you're up 21-3 and they have a extended impressive drive to end the half to make it 21-10, they're still burning clock. They're not dictating to Notre Dame's defense. And you would assume that Notre Dame's problems tackling earlier in the year, they really haven't resurfaced other than Michigan, which was just a total failure. It really having to do with missed tackles. They were over 11 missed tackles the first 6 games. They've been under 7, and that includes an average of including Michigan. You don't want to be missing 11 tackles against these guys. And if you can avoid that, I think you can just control the tenor of the contest.
You're going to miss some because they're that good. There's no doubt about that. But, we mentioned this earlier in the week. The concern here is where are you physically, that interior defensive line. Jason Adamiola is going to be less than 100%. Jacob Lacey, we already know, is less than 100% playing with the shoulder. You have the Howard Cross situation, having played 4 games. Your stars are going to have to play a large majority of the game. Maybe you get creative with some other people. I think Jacob Lacey probably plays some 3 technique.
Yeah, because Adamiola, we think he's going to be gutting it out, not just like really ready to go. In other words, if this was a New Mexico situation, he wouldn't be playing. So that means Lacey doing 3 technique and nose tackle. He's protecting an injured shoulder from the Michigan game. Jamie and Franklin will have to play some nose snaps. You can't ask Tagovailoa to go the distance against David Bailey and A.J. Dillon, and you do not want to put Howard Cross in unless he's playing a major role the rest of the way. In other words, like if Adamiola is really hurt, maybe Howard Cross plays these last 3 games as your backup. But when you play him for 1 snap at Michigan, you don't want to burn his year just because you're throwing him for 5 snaps in this contest.
It's a chilly day, not overly windy. We expect Notre Dame's passing game to have a big day as number 16 Notre Dame hosts Boston College.